What's up, guys? It's Jason here. And man, you guys know I get into everything. My friends give me a hard time about all the hobbies that I'm into. However, this is a hobby that I got away from and I wish I stuck with it, and I'm back on it. And so I'm going to be bringing you guys some astrophotography on the channel. Hope you will like that. It's something that I started a while back with the Celestron Nextar 6 SE. I did a lot of moon stuff. If you guys were on my TikTok channel, you saw some of that. But I always wanted shots like this. My buddy Rob Pauza, which is the reason that I bought all this stuff, is my buddy Rob, when we started doing astrophotography about the same time, he kept going. And his shots, if you go and look at him up on Instagram and you look at everything he does, he is amazing. Rob, I hope you don't mind that I'm using some of your photos, but this is what I am shooting to be able to do. And Rob is amazing. He actually just got featured on High Point. But right behind me, this monstrosity, it's crazy. So this finally all got here, and I finally have it all set up, and I hope it's set up correctly. I have been working on it. I don't know. I have no clear skies right now, so basically I'm just hoping it's set up. But I'm going to talk to you about everything that I purchased and why I purchased it, and it's a lot. But I'm going to be bringing you some astrophotography, and hopefully some of you guys that are new to astrophotography, this might help you decide whether it's something you're looking to do. But I will tell you, it is not, I repeat, it is not a cheap hobby by any stretch. You probably can cut some corners here and there and probably get better photos than me. But because of my history with photography, I always try to get better equipment, just because I know that given the skills that it takes to be good with the better products, you tend to get a better result. So I wanted to go all out. I'd been saving for a new camera. I'd been saving for a new lens. And so I dropped on this. So you're probably wondering, what is all that and why do you need that? I'm going to talk to you about it, and hopefully I'll maybe introduce you to it. And if it's something you're interested in, you can follow along with me as I learn, and we can do this together. Let's go. So first I head on over to High Point Scientific after my buddy Rob recommended me all of this gear. He sends me this basically a PDF with everything, with all the instructions, everything that I need. So big shout out to Rob. I appreciate you doing that. So first thing, which is let's start with the foundation of my setup, which is the ZWO AM3 mount and the APO 65mm flat field telescope bundle. This thing was huge. I had to wait for this to get in. I was trying to decide on getting either the 65mm or the 107 or even the 80, but I went with the 65. And the reason I did that is just because this telescope's, it's perfect for capturing sharp wide field images without all the distortion at the edges. And I added the 16mm peer extender to give me a little bit more height flexibility. I do have trees and houses and things around me, so I'm hoping that's going to help me with balance and maneuvering and avoiding the filter wheel, which I'm going to talk to you about a little bit in a little bit. So the ASI 2600 Pro monochrome camera, you guys, that thing is an absolute beast. Who would have thought I would ever bought a separate camera that just goes on this? This thing is absolutely amazing. It is a monochrome camera. It is phenomenal. I'll talk to you kind of more about that. So the 2600 Pro monochrome camera, it's a 26 megapixel camera with the APS-C sensor that delivers incredible detail and sensitivity, especially in low light conditions, which is what you'll be doing with long exposures in the night sky. And monochrome cameras are like this one, give you so much more control over capturing different wavelengths of light, which is essential for a serious astrophotographer. And I don't even know if I'm serious yet, but I've spent some serious money. The big thing is pairing all this stuff together. I'm big on everything talking together. And my buddy, and I keep saying my buddy, I'm just going to call him Rob. Rob said all of this stuff talks together just like Apple products. And I know, Rob, you're an Android user, womp womp, but pairing with this AS Air Plus Wi-Fi camera controller makes the whole system incredibly easy to control. The AS Air Plus allows me to operate everything wirelessly. it's from setting up the exposures, guiding it, to even polar alignment. It's all through the smartphone or a tablet. It's compact. It cuts down on a lot of cables, and for me, that's a huge win. Now, I'm gonna jump into something else. You can see it on the back of the camera, but it's the 5-position electronic filter wheel. And now I know that probably sounds like a lot, but to really take advantage of the monochrome camera, I also picked this up. It's going to be a game changer because it lets me quickly switch between the filters without having to do the setup and everything. For the filters, I went with 3 2-inch Optolone filters, the H Alpha, the S2, and the O3 filters, specifically for light pollution. I live in a pretty light polluted area. It's like you'll hear me talk about it's a Bortle, basically 5 to 6. Rob lives in like a Bortle 3 or 4, but it allows me to capture amazing detail from like emission nebulas. It blocks out unwanted light and focusing on wavelengths that I really want. Also, I added a high contrast filter for UV rays to even get more clarity when imaging certain types of objects. Now, I'm brand new to this. I probably have spent too much purchasing all this to start out before I even know if I'm going to be good at it, but I am going to figure this stuff out. Now, let's talk about the automatic focuser and the guide scope. Okay, the electronic focuser and guide scope, it's a standard electronic automatic focuser. You'll see that. You have to install that. It's just another tool that makes the long imaging sessions much easier. It adjusts focus automatically as the temperatures and conditions change. It keeps everything sharp without me having to manually refocus every few hours. You can set up in the app that it'll refocus when you switch filters, or when it's taking shots, you can have it focus each time. You can pretty much set it up to do however you want, and I'm going to kind of walk you through that, hopefully on a night that I actually get to shoot. As far as it basically the adjusting focus on the telescope, it integrates pretty seamlessly with the ASA Air Plus, so I can control it remotely. Just like I said, there's no running back and forth to tweak the focus, especially in the middle of the night. A lot of this is going to allow me to be inside my home where it's nice and warm and not be outside all night long doing this. I also added the ZWO ASI 220mm mini monochrome guide scope to help with precision tracking. This is small, but it's powerful. It's a guide scope. It works great with ASI Air as well. It makes sure that my telescope stays locked on to targets all night. It's essential for long exposure shots where even the slight drift can ruin the whole session. Now, overall, it's my new astrophotography rig. It's from High Point Scientific, from the ZWO AM3 mount to the ASI 2600 Pro monochrome camera and the ASI Air Plus. This setup's designed for high quality portable astrophotography. Now, whether or not I can harness all this power and make it work, who knows? Everything in this setup works seamlessly together, which means I can spend more time focusing on capturing amazing images and less time worrying about gear. I know that's a lot to digest, but thanks for joining me in this gear breakdown. And if you're thinking about upgrading your astrophotography setup or just getting started, definitely check out High Point Scientific. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the gear or how to get the most out of your own rig, and I can help figure that out, or I can at least ask Rob, and maybe he can help us all. And don't forget to like, subscribe for more astrophotography content. Clear skies to all of you guys, and I really appreciate you. And anyway, let's get out there and shoot.